Hello, hello. I hope you are having a good evening because I certainly am. And I am jumping on here this evening to look at the market to see what's going on, see what new listings are hitting, and who I can connect my buyers to. So, most likely, you are seeing this channel because I invited you to it. We probably met at an open house or spoke on the phone, and I shared with you a link to this channel. This channel is where I stream live searches. And in this case, I happen to have my kids with me, but we got can't pick and choose a lot of times how we handle that. So forgive me ahead of time if you hear kids come over and start talking to me. They are like toddlers, but they could do that. Anyways, it's my pleasure to bring this stream to you live. It is recorded, so you can come back and watch it later as well. But if you want to drop something in the chat, question about a property. I've been selling houses 13 years in Houston. I know the market like the back of my hand. So I can go through these listings fairly quickly compared to what the typical agent can. I can fly through these listings and find deals pretty quickly. I myself generally work the Bel Air, University, West University, Montrose, like Central, Memorial, like all this area for the most part. And so that's what I'm going to stick to. These are listings that have come on the market over the last 24 hours. Hey, okay, there's a cup right there, a red one. See, told you. So we're going to go through these as quick as we can. But because I'm very efficient with searching for houses, then this should be pretty easy to do. You can follow along. Feel free. Pull your har.com app on your phone and look at these houses with me. I'll be using my analytics, which is right here, to do the analysis to see if any house is actually a good deal. And if it is a good deal, how much of a good deal is it? So that's what we're going to use that for. That's my proprietary analytics platform called Realytics. My team is named after it. So to have some sort of method or process of doing this, we're going to start with down here in the Willow Meadows area. And we're going to see what we can find here. A $539,000 property in South Main. So this could be good depending on the property itself, but it looks like it's a patio home in a patio home community. So $500,000 for that is not advisable. Would not do that. If we zip over here to Willow Meadows, actual Willow Meadows, we see a property listed for $365,000 at 4821 Hummingbird Street. The 1,359 square foot house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, asking $365,000 in the Willow Meadows subdivision. Willow Meadows market area, Willowbrook to be precise. Sitting on a large, very nicely sized 9,490 square foot. Now that's double the size of a Heights lot, just to give you some context to this. But yeah, 1,359 square foot house. So it's on the small side, 3 bedroom, 2 bath home. 365. So 268 square foot is pricey for this house. If we get a look at the inside, we've got a 2-car garage. So that is a big bonus right there. That kitchen is horrendous. Okay, not the finishes. Like, that's okay. It's very 2020 style. The quartz countertop is nice. It's black. The backsplash is like a basket weave, which is fine. It's neutral. The crown molding, all these elements of the shaker style cabinets is very nice, actually. Built-in fridge and everything like that. But it is a small fridge. It's a small kitchen. It's very cramped. That is a significant problem. So we really cannot get close to $400,000 on a small house with a kitchen like that. Aesthetics are important. In fact, there's something I want to share with you, which is called El Paseo. El Paseo is what I use to determine or for a step-by-step process of choosing a house. So when I look at this one, the first step would be L, which is location. And it is a north and south facing house in the middle of a subdivision street. So location is fine, and I knew that just from seeing it, that it's fine. Location is perfectly good. It's also zoned to Red Elementary School, which is an A-rated school, so that's good as well. So location's good. We want to see if it's in the flood zone though, so we'd hit flood zones here, and it is in the X zone, which is not a special flood hazard area, so that's good as well. So overall, location's fine. I figured that, and that's why I went in to look at the other items. The other one you would want to look at is price. But I did want to see the condition a little bit sooner in this regard, because I'm trying to, see if the condition is even worth trying to do a price analysis. So you can almost kind of interchange those steps, but typically you want to do pricing first. So I'm going to put this away, zip over here, so we're not going to touch that. So we're going to zip this way over to Westbury, and we're going to take a look at what we have. It looks like a $100,000 property, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. This is not a property that typically I'm going to address, because this is not, condos is not my domain. I don't typically sell those, so I'm going to skip that. That's not my cup of tea, so to speak. We do have a $265,000 offer in here. Let's take a look at this. At 6031 Dalphorn Drive, 1,500 square foot. So it's a respectable size at 1,500 square foot, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1962 in Westbury subdivision for $265 or $176 square foot. 2-car garage, good curb appeal. Roof looks like it's in good shape. Grays and whites, like 2020, 2021 style. But for $265, not bad. Gas range is great. It's a galley kitchen, not popular, but again, cheap price. So, just looking real quick at the pictures here, it looks like something that can work. So let's look back at the location and make sure it's not a terrible location. So it is a north and south facing subdivision lot in the middle of a subdivision, so that's good. It's not on Ludington, which could have been a problem if it was on Ludington, but it's not. So that's good. It's on Dalphorn. Let's check the flood zone, make sure that's clear. It is in the, looks like the X500. So because it's in the X zone, it does not require flood insurance. So we are just barely outside of that flood zone area. 100-year flood zone AE, purple. We don't want to be in that, and we're not. So that's good. One more thing we can check on this is if it's in, if it has flood history, which they might voluntarily tell you here. It says beautifully remodeled home completed in 2022, which makes sense. The roof was replaced in 2023. That's good. Foundation was completed in 2024. That's good. That's about the limit of what it says. But things I want to look for is underslab foundation, underslab plumbing, because that gets very expensive. And if there's any kind of insulation work done to the house, that's also very important. Not seeing that exactly, but I'm feeling pretty good about it, at least enough to go ahead and look at the numbers. This is Westbury Section 4, so we're going to do that. We're going to pull it up. This was a, let me see, this house is 6031 Dalphorn. All right, so we're going to go to Westbury Subdivision. I'm going to go up here to my subdivision selection, and I'm going to type it in, Westbury. And as I do this, you're going to learn about Westbury all of a sudden, which is great. It's a good thing to do, is to know about these markets. We're currently at a 5-month inventory market, by the way. And when we go to Westbury subdivision market area, which is this section here, we see that the inventory drops to 3.76 months, which means we are more on a buyer side market compared to overall Houston, which is at 5 months inventory. So it's more of a seller's market. I get those switched up sometimes. I'm going to try to not have that problem. So the median sell price for a mid-quality serviceable home is $360,000. So being at 265 is already about 100K below the market, below the median sell price market. So, excuse me, here it is, 6031 Delfern Drive. Excuse me. Excuse me. Of course, I'm going to get hit with the cough attacks when I'm doing this live stream, right? Makes sense. Okay, so we have 265, which shows you lands on the cheap side of the market. That's what this gauge here. This is the sold market, with the lowest sale price in Westbury being $168,000 and the max sale price being $855,000. That's crazy. How do you get $855 in Westbury? I don't understand that. Per square foot, you're looking at between $60 a square foot to $275. This one's at $176, so land's kind of right in the middle there. So the overall price point of this house is actually fair, but I'm going to narrow it by home size. So I'm going to go 1352 up to 1652 square feet. So I want to get homes that are similar size, which is what we got here. So you see we have a new distribution of sales right here, 16 sales. The median sale price for a home of this size is $295,200. Note this is not in the flood zone. So this is actually not in this 100-year flood zone. So at $295,000, this home's actually got about a $30,000 market, I'd say arbitrage equity opportunity. So $30,200 to be precise. Right there, we can see the figure equity positions plus $30,200. So they've listed it. They've pretty much undervalued this listing. Zoned to Anderson Elementary, so we can actually further get the numbers more precise if we put Anderson Elementary in there and not mix it up with Parker Elementary. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so that actually relaxes the numbers quite a bit more, as we can see. So the median sale price is $268. So once we remove, the map isn't quite loading up all the way, but once we remove the Parker Elementary School, which is a highly sought after school on the north side of Westbury, and we keep it down on the south side of Westbury, zoned to Anderson Elementary, which is a respectable school. It's got an A-rated school as well, but just not as good as Parker, at least reputation-wise. We see there is a nice distribution of sales here that lands around the $268,000 price point. So the median sale price for a home of this size, zoned to Anderson and not poisoned with Parker Elementary School houses, essentially over-promising, is $268,000. So they've actually priced this right on the money. And a fair market value ask price of a home is the least you can ask for when we are in this situation with prices that keep on rising every single year. So it occurs to me on this property, it is worth writing it down because they have listed it at a fair price, a fair list price. So I like it. I'm going to put, let's see, 6. I'm going to write it down. Hold on. Where's my notepad? Excuse me. Notepad. Where's my notepad at? Okay, I'm going to use this. This slip of paper that I have. Okay, 6031 Delfern Drive. Asking $265K. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does it rent for? Because that's probably what I want to do with it. If you're a first-time home buyer, buy this house. It's a good deal. It's zoned to a good school. It's in a good neighborhood. It's on a good street. We just checked all that stuff. Okay, so we checked the location. We checked the price. Pricing's good. We checked aesthetics. We actually did that first, or second, actually, and that's good. And then we checked so aesthetics. We checked condition. The condition is what we read in the description, but we'll need to go schedule a showing and actually go walk this property. So that's what I want you to do. Drop me a message, not in the chat, but shoot me a text. My phone number is there at the bottom, 832-622-7723. If you want to see it, text me right now, and we will go look at it. Okay, remember this is live, so you can text me now if you like. Now, let me see. We want to check rents out, right? So I'm going to go to the rents. I'm going to go to Rental Finder. I'm going to check what the rents would be on a house like this. It's zoned to Anderson Elementary, so I'm going to make sure that I'm focusing on homes that are in the Anderson Elementary school zone. So Anderson, here we go, Anderson here, Conroe, Houston. Let's zip down to Houston, and it's a 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's taking a minute. Gotta be a little patient here. For some reason, the rental dashboard runs a little slower. Okay, so see, Anderson Elementary rent price to sell price ratio is positive 0.83%. So it's on the positive side by close to 1%. That means the homes are renting for close to 1% of what they sell for, which is what ideally you want, right? And if it's zoned to, let me see, we have subdivisions here, Westbury here. So Westbury Homes, Westbury South is rent price to sell price ratio is about 1% exactly. And the Westbury subdivision, which is on the north side. So this is Westbury South here, and Westbury North is this side, or Westbury proper, and that is going at about 0.71%. So just take note of that. But medium rent's $2,100, but rents can get as high as $2,554. So based on the distribution of rental sales, we even have some touching $3,000 here. Let's make sure we're looking at just 3 bedrooms. All right, so that comes down a tad to $2,529. We can see there are some that are passing the $3,000 mark, which is quite interesting. So I would say that you could get reasonably as much as $2,500, but let's narrow it down on the home size. Go 1350 to 15. Sorry, let's go 1350 to 1650. Okay, so more reasonably, I mean, a home of similar size, 3 bedrooms, rented out, is actually approaching about $2,200 per month. So, but the max is $2,600, which would be about that 1% figure. So that's quite interesting. Okay, so I like this one as a annual rental potential. And so like the rent, you could get to $2,600. Okay. There's at least one comp for it. Let's go back to analytics. And what, excuse me. Okay. So I'm going to take this home size out of here. So we figured we have a price point. We found that it's priced fairly, which is, like I said, all you can ask for. When I take the home size out and we're looking at this actual subdivision, Westbury, zone to Anderson, we're seeing that the median sale price here is $304,000. So getting it for $265,000, potentially you have some equity potential for this area, which is about $40,000 for the area, which is good. You know, it means you're buying it at a good price. If I take out the elementary school, what I want you to see is down here we have something called subdivision analysis right here. So Westbury has a total of 3,402 properties available in like properties that are in the subdivision. Now the list rate is 5.5%, which I've been finding to be pretty close to the average. What I'm seeing most places are listed. So that's an annual list rate that includes everything that's on the market now, everything that's sold, everything that went pending, everything that's terminated. Okay. Compared to how many properties are in that subdivision. So 5.5% is the list rate annually, and then the sale rate's 3.7%. So when the sale rate is close to the list rate, it means that just about everything that lists sells. But here we see that's not the case, and that's fine. It usually is not the case. They usually are not equal. They can come close, but not usually. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, which this one is that. Westbury, typically you can expect 1,830 square foot house with an 8,610 square foot lot size and a home built in 1960. This subdivision, if we look at this time series, this subdivision has, this is the sale prices that were back in 2019. So they dipped down here right in the cold season of 2019 to 2020 at around the 244, 260 median sell price, and has steadily increased here with a quick dip here in quarter one 2023, and sharply rose. So this is cold season dip. This is a cold season dip. See that? Cold season dip, cold season dip, cold season dip. And then it just skyrocketed up and it has relaxed. Prices are around the 332 mark. So they're kind of flat, as you can see, since 2021. But they're about a step higher from 2019, 2020 timeframe. So it's, technically it's an upward trend. Per square foot is definitely going up. Prices are kind of flat right now. Volume has dropped off. So the volume was going up and up and up and up, but then the interest rates right here in quarter two 2022 took hold, and then everybody backed off, and the volume dropped down. So your sale prices quit going up because this was an upward trend to about here. Then this whack stuff happened, see, and it's been pretty much flat while volume's been down. Okay, and it's still really the volume just keeps going down. So the price point's holding up, but the volume's going down. So what does that mean? It's waiting for. Really, I think it's waiting for an opportunity to go up, which is when the interest rates will drop. And they started to drop, and there's word it's supposed to keep going down. So you might want to take advantage of this dip. This could be a buying opportunity. Okay, so that's Westbury, and that house is a prime option, a safe option to buy, because it's listed fair, and it looks like it has lots of remodel work already done to it. Let's see here. All right, so let's see what else we've got. 1 second, I'm just texting somebody. Just texting someone, hold on. Okay. So go back here to my matrix. Let's keep searching. Okay. 24 minutes we've been streaming. Time flies on here, when we're looking at stuff and we're investigating stuff, time does fly. So it's already been nearly 30 minutes that we've been streaming, and we've hardly made it past Westbury. Here's something else over here, $240,000. But see, the location's bad. This thing lands right near all the commercial and the power lines right here, so no thank you. Zipping back over to Meyerland, we've got an option on Rutherglen at $829,000. we can take a look at this 829,000. It's got great curb appeal, swimming pool in the back. Definitely looks like a party house here. 829. Beautiful kitchen, large kitchen. It's like a prep area or something. I don't know what that is. Lots of decor. So this is an 829 house in the Meyerland area. Obviously, Meyerland could raise a few red flags here. Flood zones, flooded houses, right? So this is a house on Ruther Glen at 829. Because it's at 829, we can see, it's a big house. So let's see if it makes sense to buy this in Meyerland area. If you don't mind flood history, most people do though. I mean, this one, let's see if it flooded. Let's take a look. Did it flood? Now, it doesn't have a seller disclosure here, so we're not going to be able to know. If it says did not flood, then we could be in good shape, but I don't necessarily. Oh, it says never flooded. Okay, that's good. But it is in the 100-year floodplain, so I don't like that. But it is Meyerland, and all of Meyerland is in the floodplain. So I'm not going to cross that off because of the flood zone, but I do want to pay attention to the location a little bit more. It's north and south facing, which is good. It's a couple lots away from Chimney Rock, 3 lots away. That's still pretty close to Chimney Rock, but that's better than being right on Chimney Rock. This is a through street, which a lot of traffic comes through. So it's better to actually be on Queenslock or Paisley or Contour, or even one of these Drumfies, Valkeith, and Yarwell. So that's one of the things we're going to have to be okay with. I'm not a big fan of that. So let's take a look at Meyerland for this house at 5339 Ruther Glen. We're going to do that by going to the analytics. And I'm going to punch in Meyerland, which I could do by subdivision. That might be better. So we got Meyerland here. Okay, so Meyerland proper, which is what this region is a median sale price of $691,000. So that's good, and the market value is $1,448,000, which means your market value is up to that figure. Okay, so the homes are getting pricier and pricier. This one was what, $829,000, right? So it's right here. All right, so let's do similar home size. And real quick, Meyerland subdivision has 2,300 homes in that subdivision at a list rate of 5.1%. So the list rate is lower than Westbury. 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, 2,709 square foot. So these are much more mature houses, much larger, much larger than Westbury houses. Lot sizes are about 10,000 square foot, so those are also larger, built in 1961. That's what you can expect here. This is zoned to Coulter Elementary School as well, which is a rated school. Home size 2912 up to 3560. Let's see what we get for similar home size in Meyerland subdivision. There's just 4 sales in the last 6 months, so let's go back 9 months, see what we can get. So that gives us 7 sales. The median sale price is $869,800, which means there's actually an equity position of $40,800 on this house. So being priced at $829,000 or $256 square foot falls within the market value ranges, price-wise and per square foot wise, making this a fair market option. So that is something to be aware of. I would actually mark this down if you have a client, if you are somebody looking to get a house in Meyerland that's around 3,300 square foot and looks a bit like what we just saw as we ran through the pictures there. this could be a legitimate opportunity for you to buy something at fair market value. And fair market value is all you can ask for. It's the least you can ask for, right? So I'm going to write this one down because this is one I can recommend to somebody. It's not dramatically overpriced or anything. It's priced well. It's priced with equity, actually. So 5339 Ruther Glen Drive. All right, cool. So let's see here. All right, so that's a good one right there. If you're in the market, that's a good one. Okay, let's take a look here at, we have a 675, 5743 Jason Street. So I would not really move on this one because this is kind of towards this like entry-level housing, which is Maplewood, Robindale, Braze Timbers. Like this is all kind of like that entry-level type stuff. Ideally, you want to be over on this side where Chimney Rock and South Rice Avenue are for good market value increase potential. Okay, and we got a house here that's asking $439, but see that's right on the water hole, so we're not going to mess with that one. Here we are inside the loop now. We're looking at Knollwood Village, a $420,000 house at 3026 Fairhope Street. 11,000 square foot lot. That's a monstrosity of a lot. 2,356 square foot house. So it's just 178 per square foot. 1952, 3-bed, 2.5. So we have a half bath here. It's very nice. Flood zone. Okay, so this could be a good remodel. Perhaps it's virtually staged. So just condition wise, we can see it's got a gas range. That's good. So it's got a weird configuration of the floor plan. So the walls are going to have to be knocked out. Walls are going to have to be moved around. The functionality, the bedrooms are small for 2,300 square foot, whatever. It looks like a lot of that square footage is in this added space, this added room, an added office, like all this kind of junky added spaces. So this was an addition, clearly the primary bedroom. See the very compartmentalized area. You got your foyer with the living room, which is small, 12 by 19 and 19. That's small, really small. A living room you want at least 20 by like 20. 20 by 19, 20 by 20. Really, 20 by 20 is a rule of thumb you want to stick to. This office doesn't really jive well there. It doesn't make sense. So this house, that's the office, right? So that was the garage. Yeah. So it looks pretty janky. Could this be a good flip? It could actually. This could actually be a good flip. Let's see what the flips look like for a home like this, okay? So lot location isn't all that great. It's actually nicely located inside of a subdivision, not close to Buffalo Speedway. So it's right in the middle of a subdivision, nestled inside of a subdivision, so that's wonderful. And actually, since we were looking at it, let's go back to, it doesn't say if it flooded or not. Let me see. If it didn't flood, that would be ideal. Doesn't say that anywhere. So we don't have, let's see, this property is subject to 3-day first look period. Seller will negotiate all offers after the period expires. Cash offers require 10% EMD or 1,000 minimum, whichever is greater. Okay. Anyways, so let's see how this would work out on the numbers. So this could be a flip potential. So this is Knollwood Village. We're going to look at the Knollwood Village market area. Excuse me. One of my issues is I have acid reflux, and that causes me to have to burp. So my apologies. Knollwood Village. Okay, let's zip down there. Solds. There it is. Okay. So we want a single single story. So I want to make sure we're looking at single story houses, which is going to be the old houses, 1950s. Okay. And then this home is 420, right? Doesn't look like it populated on my list here. It probably came on the market just within the last few hours then, because I updated this earlier today. But home size was, what do we have on the home size then? So see, it's days on market. There's not even a 1 there. So yeah, just hit the market. 2356, and it's a 3-bed. Okay. So 20, I'm going to say 2,000 to 2,500. Okay, so the median sale price is 525,000, but this doesn't have a garage, so let's make sure to account for that. Garage 0. Okay, so there's only one sale that happened in Knollwood Village area that had no garage, which is this one, but it did sell for $580,000. That's interesting. And there is one listing available, one active. You can see the one right there. And that's 3531 Westridge Street. They're asking $755,000. So 420 is extremely risky thing to do because there's not any comps for it. So that's where I would draw some questions. Let me see. Let's go a little bit more. 2600. Does that help? And it doesn't look like it does. So you got one sale at 580, but that's not encouraging because you need at least 3, and we're not getting that. So I'm going to pass on this deal at 420. Okay, zipping over here to West University area. See if we got anything over here. Rice Museum District. Here's a 1.095 million at 2328 Dunstan Road. So that's pretty cheap. Large lot, nearly 7,000 square foot, 2,100 square foot size home. But let's pay attention to location, as that is important. That's the first thing to check. And we see that it actually sits on Greenbrier. And Greenbrier is a considerably busy street. As you can see, it goes all the way through to Holcomb and beyond, actually. Shepherd, on the other hand, continues down to Rice Boulevard and pretty much ends there. But Greenbrier goes all the way through. So I don't like this house because of that reason. So we're not going to explore that any further, even though the price is nice. The price is attractive, but that's a trick. We have a 1.65 house at 4250 Judson Avenue in West University Place, Texas, 77005. $1,650,000. Let's take a closer look at it. 5,000 square foot lot, 3,387 square feet, built in 2014, 487 a square foot. So it's possible this could work. So let's take a look at West University, because that is a very popular market for the luxury market. So West University, all right, and it's on a 5,000 square foot lot. So I want to make sure I'm only looking at lots that are the same size, 5,000 to maximum 5,500. Okay, so there's 40 sales in there, you can see, right? And we're going to do a similar home size. Let's see if this home is in here at 1.4. No, it doesn't look like it's in there, right? 165, 4250 Judson. 165, yeah. So it came on the market after I updated this today. So, but it is about 3,400 square foot. So I'm going to go 3,000, maximum 4,000 square feet. And so the median sale price for a home of similar size, let's go 3,800. I'm going to get a little more conservative with this. Okay, that actually didn't help. So it actually increased the numbers, interestingly. I guess people feel like this fits them like a glove better, but $1.85 million is the median sell price, and they're asking 1.65. So there's a $200,000 equity position on this house. It is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Ideally, you'd want a better ratio than that. Bedroom bathroom ratio. You'd want a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath. But you can work with 3.5. Yeah, it's possible because you'd have the half bath down, and then the 3 bathrooms up. So that could work. But you're going to have a bedroom using or sharing a bathroom with another bedroom, and that kind of sucks. So that's why. Especially in this market, they like to have their ensuite bathrooms. So this one would be, I mean, it makes sense for it to be at 1.65. It's also in the chimney. So this section here is called the chimney of West U, which is considered to be lower in value as compared to any of this stuff. So 185 is the median sale price across all of West U for a similar home size, 2014 build. So this being priced at 165, I would say is fair. It's fairly priced, most definitely. So I'm going to write it down, given that it's in the chimney portion of West University. So that's going to be 4250 Judson Avenue. And that looks like they have a public open house, 3:30 to 4:30 on Sunday. Okay, so now let's see over here. We have something that's too close to the highway, so we're not going to mess with that. We got something that's too close to South Rice. I mean, that's South Rice is right here. Yeah, I don't. Let me see. Got to see what kind of stuff we're dealing with here. See, there's a lot of ugly commercial stuff here on Ashbrook. But the lot is humongous. Look at these big lots on Palmetto. They're huge. I mean, this area would be better. Elm, Palmetto over here. But we could probably work with that. I mean, it's north and south facing. It's a huge lot, which is a rarity. And this looks like a patio home community. Probably not cheap ones, so we can definitely maybe go ahead and say that the lot is okay. Excuse me. Let's see here. Results. Let's hit this. So 1.98 for, so it's 13,800 square foot. So it's a big lot. 2009 build, so it's kind of on the old side. 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 423 square foot. It's got the modern look to it. Pool in the back. Okay, so that adds value because that's a beautiful pool. The houses around it are really nice. The lot is big. Interior wise, everything looks great. It's almost $2 million. It's 2009, but it looks like a 2025. I mean, it looks great. What is this? Is that the living room? It's kind of a weak living room. That space is kind of weak. I like the prep pantry, though. That's nice. So aesthetically, it's good. Exterior is good. Interior is pretty good. It's got a metal roof, which is extremely expensive compared to your typical shingle roofs. Good curb appeal, good lighting. It's good. So let's see if this one measures up. It's on the older side, so we've got to take points away for that. See, that is Bel Air, the Bel Air area. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go Bel Air market area, 1.98 million, so it's approaching $2 million. Listed by Tammy Bateman Properties. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if it's in here. 1.98. No, it doesn't look like I've got it in there. Yeah, 1.98. Okay, see, it's DOM and there's nothing there. So they just put this up. 5102 Palmetto. But it's about 4,700 square foot size. So I'm going to put lot size. Put lot size north of 10,000, but south of 16,000. And the home size, we're going to do, is it 4,700? Yeah, 4,700. So we're going to go 4,300 to 50, 5,300. Okay, so there's four. So we have blanks here, but that's because there's nothing available other than this house, which isn't on here. But here's the sales: 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sales. The median sale price is 1.6 million, or 1.5. So that's your median for a 2004 house, about 4,800 square foot. They're only taking 4 days to be sold, so not that long. I'd like to get a little more data, so I'm going to go 270 on this. Nothing changed. Let's go 12 months on this. Okay, so they are aggressive in their pricing. Thanks to this one sale up here, it has pulled the market value up statistically to $1,945,000. But if it not for this house, you would have the highest sale price at $1,750,000. So I find it difficult to approve. Let's go with 8,000. I'm going to expand the lot size here. Okay, see, that does something else. Okay, the thing is, when there's a lack of sale volume, that makes it hard to determine a accurate value for a house. So we need more volume. So here, now that I lowered the lot size to include lots 8,000 or bigger, and that's a big lot. 8,000 is huge. That actually brought in a lot more properties, a lot more sales. So we can get a better estimate of what the market is demanding. And essentially, we can add value to this house for having a larger lot size. So now 1.98 is a little bit more practical. There's 3 sales that occurred above 2 million. And we have the closest next sale at 185. So statistically, with the standard deviation sale prices, $1,908,000 is the market value for this home. We can call it $1,910,000 or 1.91 million. Excuse me. So if they're asking 1.98, I think you come in at 1.91 and you get this sale. That would make a lot of sense. And that's tip-top shape. So we go into this expecting everything to be in really good shape. Okay. So this house is one worth going at, but 1.91 million is where you want to buy it. Okay. We've got, that's too close to South Bryce. We've got a 1,075,000 here. 5508 Grand Lake. Let's check that out. Okay, beautifully renovated home. Looks kind of like a Chicago house, but that is a Georgian style English colonial revival home with a pool in the back. Good looking house, 2-car garage. Beautiful house, absolutely gorgeous. 2-story foyer, office space, or living, formal living. So roofs are probably, ceilings are probably like 10 feet tall. Okay. This is a basic looking exterior, but I like the front most definitely. So 1,075,000, that's actually quite good. It's $295 a square foot with a swimming pool. So right off the bat, I'll tell you I like the price a lot. Let's take a closer look. It is south facing, okay, on Grand Lakes. It's in the middle of the subdivision, well, kind of, but it's not on the edge, so that's good. So I'm actually really digging this house so far. Listed by Mike Livingston at Keller Williams Metropolitan. Let me see, 5508 Grand Lake. Let's see how it looks on the numbers. Bel Air Market area. Let's go and reset. Bel Air Market area. 3635 square feet. So I'm going to go 3,300 to 3,900. 21 sales. Only 4 actives right now. And it's right here. So that one is inside of my system right now. 1,075,000 is cheap. So for a similar home size, and this is what lot size is what 6,600 square foot lot. So the lot size is a little bit on the small side. We can adjust for that. 5,000 up to let's go 8,000 max. All right. So even with the adjustment, we are still positive on the equity of $90,000 and market upside of $227,000. So this home, done up perfectly, could and should fetch as much as $1.3 million market value for similar lot size, similar home size in the Bel Air market area. So that is actually quite a good option. So 5508 grand looks like this. Here's the house. Looks great. All right, so let's see. I'm going to write it down as a viable option. I have people for this. If you guys like it, you got to let me know so we can schedule a showing right now. We got to schedule a showing. This stuff flies off the shelf. No kidding. Even in this market, it does. Why? Because everybody's waiting for a good deal. That's why there's stuff on the market, because people have to squeeze the dollar. So they're looking for the best deals. Things that have good looking exteriors, good looking interiors. Again, there's the pool. Interior looks great. It's got good finishes. So good exterior. See that? I mean, people love the look of a timeless classic like this. Okay, wainscoting, colonial revival features. People love that. Okay, so this is a good one at $1,075,000 in the Bel Air area. Definitely one to circle. All right, let me know if you want to see it. That's why I do this channel, so we can actually start looking at stuff. Okay. All right, so now let's go back to the map. Let's find another deal. I gotta say, I've written down. I've been streaming now for 53 minutes. I've written down 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. This one is the best. It's not the cheapest. The cheapest was a $265,000 house at 6031 Delfern Drive in Willow Meadows area. That was the cheapest and has good rent value. This one is over $1 million, but as I can tell, is the best opportunity right now. That is the best opportunity out of everything that we've seen so far. So shooting up here to the Tanglewood and Briar Grove area, okay? Briarcroft, Briar Grove. So this is the Tanglewood market area, $1,835,000, 5022 Tangle Lane. 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 5,120 square foot. So when we look at this home, we see a modern style property with a, looks like a huge driveway, clearly, or shared driveway, apparently. But it looks like maybe not, I don't know. But another colonial revival style home, pitched ceiling, big kitchen, built-in fridge, canned lights, natural stone, countertops, some carpet there, yuck, neutral tones all around. Built in 2003, Tanglewood market area, lot size 7,000 square foot. So respectable lot size. Essentially, what we do with this is we go ahead and we look at the numbers for it at 1.835. You know, that could work. 1.835 could actually work for this. Let's take a look though. So when you go Tanglewood market area, I will say I can say ahead of time, I really don't think there's going to be a whole lot of volume on this property as far as like what fits the criteria of this property. And ideally, y'all, when you buy a house anywhere in Houston, you want there to be volume. So that way you have a predictable resale value potential. So this house is 5,120 square foot. So I'm going to go ahead and we're looking at Tanglewood area. As you can see here, using my analytics here, we're going to go 4,500 to 5,500 and see what we get with that. Okay. And I'm going to do lot sizes of not more than 10,000. So it's going to be maximum 10,000 square foot lot sizes, since this is a 7,000 square foot lot. So there's really only two sales that really matches up. So let's go back maybe 9 months here. Okay. So if we go back 9 months, we get this distribution of sales here, where 1.8 is right there with 2 sales above it and 4 sales below it. So 1.8, what they're asking, which is 1,835, I feel like is a little bit high, and I would probably want to hit about where this property is, which is 1.75. I feel like if I'm at the third highest house or lower, third highest sale price or lower, I think I'm in pretty good shape. So if I was going to buy this house, if I was going to help you buy this house, I would make a recommendation that we get this for 1.75 million. So that's where I would be at with this. The next house of opportunity is this 1.3 million, which looks a lot better in terms of pricing. 4,400 square foot home, $1.3 million, Tanglewood area. Let's see what we can get with this one. All right, let's see. 40, is it 40? How much? 4,400, yeah. So 4,000 to 5,000 max. Maybe even 4,900 just to be extra safe. Okay, and lot size not more than 7,000. Ooh, well that kind of dropped off. At least not really of what's like available, but on what's sold. So there's one sale way up here, and I want to go ahead and remove that because that's clearly an outlier. The market is down here, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Take this out. By the way, I do give you access to use this software. So if you become a client of mine, you will get credentials to access this software. So you can follow along on what I'm doing here pretty much every day that I stream. So that way you can, learn how to use it. So this is, I'm gonna put a cap of 2 million. Which is going to remove that outlier, okay, there. And so 1,208,000 is your median sale price, but you can get up to about $1.4 million for market value. So your best version of the house is going to be about 1.4 or 320 a square foot. They're asking 1.3 or 296. So this one could work as long as it is in perfect shape. Right, it's got to be in really good condition. I don't like the dual doors. I never liked that, but that could allow for a larger garage space, so it's not necessarily a terrible thing. Large island kitchen inside, but the ceilings look pretty low. I do like all the green space outside. That's wonderful. Walking in, we've got your kind of Cinderella staircase here. The ceiling height looks reasonable, probably 9 feet, right? A colonial revival style home with your open kitchen to the dining room, but it gives very early 2000 vibes. That's what I'm getting from the kitchen. I don't like that too much. But it's a good looking house. It's a pretty house. The wood floors are beautiful. You do have an elevator. That's great. And it being so close to the bayou, of course, raises a concern about flooding, but also it does allow for more greenery scenery. So you can certainly appreciate that, which is what you're getting here with this like outdoor gallery. So that's not too shabby, built in 1994, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath home with, let's see here. The HOA is $73.50 annually, so it is expensive to live there. It is expensive to live there. I do not like that. So I would already just X that out right there. Okay, just for the HOA. There is an $830,000 offering here on Potomac Drive C. Check the HOA. HOA, none. There is no HOA. Thank goodness, because I hate those. 3-bedroom, 3-bath. 2.5 bath home right here in the Galleria area in West Haven Estates. Now, if you want to know about West Haven Estates, let's take a look. That's what we're here for. We're here for education, right? We're here for education. All right, so I'm going to go here to subdivision, and I'm going to type in West Haven Estates. You about to know more about this market than anybody else, okay? If you stick around. I have viewers come and go. Feel free to drop a message in the chat. If you have a property you'd like me to analyze using my analytics here, I can give you market valuations for any properties that you got. And make sure you subscribe so you can know when my next stream is going to be, which I try to do daily, but doesn't always work out. Okay, so West Haven Estates is this strip here. Okay, so this strip we are looking at, West Haven Estates, 940 properties. There are 940 properties in this subdivision. It has a list rate of 8%, which is high. That's high. That means there's a very high churn rate. Also notice that the sale rate here is 2.34%, which is far away from 8. It's not even close. So that's a problem. West Haven Estates is looking like not a very healthy subdivision market area. 3-bedroom, 4-bath homes, which you can expect here, that are 2,900 square foot size, with lots being around 3,600 square feet. So you've got to be very, very careful buying a home here. The median sale price here is $710,000. They're asking $830,000. So they're asking a price to buy a home that's above the median sale price. So I actually probably wouldn't move forward with this option just because of the risky nature of the subdivision right now. I'm not too comfortable with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that as an option. Let's see what else we have here. We've got something over here in Briar Grove. 6151, Briar Grove subdivision, 6151 Dolliver Drive. It's about $2 million or $528 a square foot for a 2006 built home. Real quick, the interior says 9,000 square foot lot size. It's a kind of more of like a it's like a ranch style home, right? So ranch style home, re-envisioned, built in 2006. So you can see it's very ranch style, like very, very much like the old 1960s era ranch style homes. But open kitchen, all that. It's a little, the ceilings are a bit low for me. I mean, it's built in 2006, so like there's no reason why they should have low ceilings. But the pool's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, outdoor areas are very nice. Okay, so that's pretty. That helps a lot. Briar Grove, $2 million for that. Listed by Laura Sweeney at Compass. Let's take a look at the numbers for Briar Grove. So now you're about to know about Briar Grove. From West Haven Estates to Briar Grove. Subdivision, Briar Grove. What are the numbers for that? Let's see. Briar Grove. So we're going to go Briar Grove here. So just for the subdivision, 17 sales with the median sale price of $1.42 million. It's this region right here. 489 a square foot, 6 days in the market. So they sell fast. Built in 1959. Year-over-year sale prices are up a lot, nearly 30% from last year. They're selling for above full price, above list price, 103%. Inventory is low at 2.12. So, and then market value says you can buy something in Briar Grove and still be within market value based on the variation of sale prices here in the scatter plot, up to $2.2 million. So this home here, let's take a look. Let's see there. It's a 3781 square foot. So, and they're asking about 2 million. So it's right here. So I'm going to say I want similar home size. So 3,400 square foot to 4,200 square foot. Okay, so there's only 2 sales in Briar Grove that kind of fit the mold of that. Let's go back 9 months to see if we can get a little bit more sales on that. So they're asking a price that's more than the max sold price in the last 9 months. Even if we go back 12 months, we get what? We don't really get anything. Let's expand this a little bit more to 4,300 just to see if we can get a little bit extra in there. And let's go 3,300 here. Okay. So if I wanted to force this house to work, I'm certainly not going to come in more than 1,878,686. It's not going to give us too much cushion. The max sale price 1.9, but based on the variation of the sale prices, we really don't want to be much more than what we're getting here. This one sold at 1.850. So I actually would probably use this one as my upper limit in terms of like what I want to get this sold, get this purchased for. I'd like to have a couple sales above me, which would be right here. So I think 1878 is actually too high. This is a good guide, but that's probably too high. I want to be south of 185 on this house. So it's doable, but it's about 150K over, in my opinion. You could pay more, most definitely, but if you're asking me to protect you in your purchase decision, that's what I'm going to tell you, and then the rest is up to you, right? So that's how that works. Okay, so we just got done with this area. Moving over to River Oaks, we have something that hit the market in River Oaks on Olympia Drive. Okay, so this one backs up to San Felipe. So because of that location problem, I'm not going to move forward with that one. Even though I really like the price for River Oaks. But I'm not going to move forward with that. Hyde Park, let's see what we got here. So we got a property that's not on Dunlavy, so that's good. It's on Park Street, so that is good. 2025 Park Street, $749,900, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Let's take a look here. It's listed by Philip Alter, Martha Turner Sotheby's, River Oaks shopping area. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this one, because I think that this is a good price. This is a good list price, $749 for a home in the River Oaks shopping area. So let's take a look at the analytics for this and see if it is a good deal. Remember, I'm trying to find you guys deals here. We're not going to find some fire deal. That doesn't happen. Don't be unrealistic. What we're looking for is a good deal, okay? That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ever ask for. Okay, so River Oaks shopping, the only time you're going to find a fire sale type of situation, even if it's off market, I'm telling y'all, even if it's off market, there's problems with it. It's next to a railroad. It's next to a highway. It's got something wrong with the survey. It's a stupid small lot, or the house has, remodel work or whatever. you're never gonna find a fire sale ever unless it's got major problems. The best deal you can find is the one that's a fair deal. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for: is fair deals, good deals. River Oaks shopping area. This is sitting on a small lot, smaller than 2,000 square foot. So I'm going to put a max lot size of 2,500 square feet here. So I want to compare apples to apples. So we're going to go sold. So we're looking at this region here. The home size is 3,100 square foot. 749 is right here actually. So I'm going to do a home size of similar sized homes. 2,800 to 3,400. That gives us a total of 6 sales. So the median sale price for this region from 6 sales in the last 6 months is $887,000, which means, just as I suspected, this house has a positive equity position of $137,100. This house is actually priced lower than the cheapest house that sold that fits the same criteria at $802,000. At $241 a square foot, it's on the cheap side. So that's amazing. This is a fantastic opportunity. The last one we found, which was 5508 Grand Lake, was the best opportunity. This one at 2025 Park Street is the new best opportunity tonight. So I'm writing that down. You guys, you want to see that house, call me up. Actually, my cell phone number is right there at the bottom. So let's schedule a showing. Let's go look at it. This is why I do this stream, so I can find these deals for you so that we can work together. I want to be your buyer's agent. So let's do it. This is a great deal. How good of a deal was this? So it's River Oaks shopping area, zoned to Baker Montessori Elementary School. Montessori's, people love the Montessori's. This one is $749,900 in the River Oaks shopping area in central Houston, really close to River Oaks, really close to Hyde Park, really close to West University. This is only $750,000, so we're looking at lots smaller than 2,500 square feet. Home size similar in home size, within 10% up and down of the home size in the same market area. It has an equity position positive $137,100 for this house. This is a great opportunity. And what is that per square foot? $241. Very reasonable price per square foot. It's a colonial revival with looks like some accents of some like Italian style, European accents here. We've got red oak hardwood floors, crown molding, which is all about that colonial revival style, some tray ceilings, gas fireplace, built-ins, which is fantastic. Ceilings look like maybe 10 feet, which is great. Lots of built-ins all around. Dining room, we got your French doors going out to probably a balcony or something. The island kitchen is a little dated, unfortunately. But with $137,000 of equity already slapped into this house right now as it is, like, you can handle that, okay? Still good. The backsplash is bad, needs to get fixed. At least there's some pots and pans drawers here. That's good. The countertop is Texas granite. That's yucky, but that can get fixed, no problem. With the amount of equity we have here, that's your dining room. So it's like a dining and kitchen combination. That's good. Recessed lights, so you don't have to worry about that. It's gas range. That's fabulous. We've got, like I said, tall ceilings in here. We've got the wine fridge. We've got the Sub-Zero fridge. We've got a butler's pantry, which is fantastic. Tray ceiling in the bedrooms. The primary is dual sinks. Walk-in shower, jetted garden-style tub. Wrought-on railing. Really ornate. Looks great. Yeah, so all this looks good. Not much on the outdoor space, but that's the nature of this area. How about our HOA? What are we looking at? There's no HOA, so that's fabulous. No HOA, deed restrictions, no restrictions. That's fabulous. So what does that mean? What else can you do with this? Short-term rental, baby. Short-term rental. We can do that as well. So I like this as a great option at 749. I think you can easily, as a short-term rental, clear 1% on this monthly. Fabulous. I like it. Okay, so this is a fantastic option. I wrote it down. I can get you the seller disclosures and information like that. Just text me and let me know, and we'll get you going. Show that house. Let's check it out ASAP. It's not going to be available long. We pretty much got to go tomorrow. So let me know. I'm ready to do it. Okay, here's a house in the Rice Military area at 595. Okay, that is. Let me see. Let's take a look at it because lot location's important. It runs right there where Knox is. I do like the location of this being so close to Memorial Park, so that's great. But I feel like for $600,000, it's a little bit on the high side. Let's see, 2012 house. It's a Mediterranean style home. Well, actually, 595 is not too bad. Now that I think about it, it looks like you have an extra parking spot. No, what is that? Oh, it's a patio. Huh, I thought that was a parking spot. Okay, so ceilings are nice and high. Like what, 11 foot maybe? Big island kitchen, but see, having the cooktop in the island is a big pet peeve. Like, yuck, nobody likes that. Not as much anyways. So it's a good house though, overall. Mediterranean style home. Does it have a rooftop terrace? Because that'd be great if it does. Okay, not really. And it looks like it is freestanding. So it's in the 500 range. So the question is this actually a good deal at 595 at 245 a square foot? We can check real quick because I'm kind of iffy on it. I'm like, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Numbers will tell us. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath home. Wish it was a 4-bedroom though, but 3-bed, 3.5 bath, built by Lifetime Homes in 2012. Let me see. See, it's Memorial Elementary and Lamar High School. So let's go up here. You're about to see the numbers for Rice Military. So you're going to be super educated by the time we're done here. Been streaming now, live streaming for an hour, 17 minutes, covered, a handful of homes already that we've gone through. I'm a buyer's agent, so give me a call. Let's make it happen. Okay, so we go Rice Military. So we put that in. Then we got to get a little tricky with the schools. So to get the exact, because what I want this side of Rice Military. I don't want that. So I'm going to go Memorial Elementary, which is going to cut out some of that. But then I'm going to go into the high schools, and I'm going to go to Lamar. And that should do it. See, so now that took it down to here. Okay, perfect. So now this is sitting on a small lot, right? We're talking about 1541. Okay, so I'm going to go 2,000 maximum lot size. And then the home size is 2421. And this is 595, right? So let's see if we can find it here. That's Fegan. Is that Fegan Street? No, it's Knox, so it's not in there. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to go 2200 to 2600. So the median sale price for the criteria on this home is going to be actually $562,500, but upwards of $624,000. So we can get to $624,000, but we need to minus from that. See, these are built 2013, as you can see, 234 square foot, taking 28 days to sell. Inventory is extremely high, 11 and a half months inventory. Look, so there was 12 sales in the last 6 months. That's the torque of the market right now, but there's 24 actives. So calm yourself. This house at 595, based on the inventory level, I would be trying to get this at the median sale price since there's just so many options out there. So this is the solds right here. And then we do active, and look at it, it like doubles. There's so much more. So we need to take the approach of like, let's be conservative because we can. 562.5 is a number I would want to be at on this house, not 595. So we got to come down like almost $40,000 for this to make sense. This one's too close to Lillian, so which is too close to Washington. So I'm not going to mess with that. I do like the park here, but I wouldn't want to be on Lillian. Not a fan of that. Floyd Street. Okay, so this is Floyd Street at 495, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,300 square foot, which is, I don't know, that's about market rate for a house, okay? This is a 2004 build, so it's an older, actually quite an older house. Looks like there's probably an HOA. Let me check that. Well, no, there's no HOA. Okay, so no HOA. No deed restrictions, which means this can be a short-term rental option. $495,000, 4613 Floyd. Let's take a closer look. I do like all the windows, but the stucco has got me reserved. And it looks like this person's not taking care of their house very much. And it appears to be a townhouse. It is not freestanding because that's the other garage. So a lot of stucco. It's a townhouse. I don't prefer townhouses. I'd rather get freestanding if I can get one. It's at the very end. Not a fan of that. The finishes are not very good here as well. We're looking at slate tile floors from 2004. That's dated as can be nowadays. That flooring is really cheap. Looks like soft, like a soft hardwood floor, like a birch or something like that. So the darks are not good. The darks are not in. At least not like that. Kitchen is terrible. Yeah, we're not going to mess with that one. Moving on. Okay, so Sawyer Heights, really noisy. I don't recommend buying anything over here. It's just way too noisy, way too crowded with commercial and all that stuff, so just forget that. Cottage Grove over here. So one side is zoned to Love, which is this. Don't want to buy in Love. Forget about it. I love Love, but not Love Elementary. This is Love side over here. Don't buy over there. Memorial works. This is too close to the railroad. Forget it. This is too close to the railroad. Forget it. This is too close to the railroad and to the freeway. Forget it. So the only option we have here is this Kiem Street, 5521 Kiem Street, asking $650, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2 half-baths, 2,900 square foot. Which unit is it though? Because look at these; they're all crammed in here. So to spend, it's at the very back, which is not ideal because if one of these people are parked in the way, how are you going to get there? So we're going to pass on that. Location, okay, but not the location of the lot specifically. Got to pay attention to those things. And when you see something like that, just exit out. Like, don't even spend more time on it. Frankly, there's not any time for that. Timber Grove is great, but unfortunately, nothing new available there. Shady Acres, what do we got here? Let me check my phone. See if anybody's texting me. That'd be great if you guys would text me. Hey, Justin, I want to see a house that you found tonight. That would be fantastic, y'all. Okay. 1360 West 25th Street, 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath. So this home is in the Shady Acres area, but check the, check the flood zones. We want to stay out of the flood zone. See, that one lands in the 100-year floodplain, so we're not going to mess with that. These two are options. This one at 509 and this one at 484.9. So we can work with either one of those as far as Shady Acres, but not really these. These are going to be zoned to Sinclair, which is slightly better than Love. Hold on one second. Get rid of this. So at 509, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,039 square feet. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, built in 2012. We have this 3-story house, patio home, with lots of stucco. Lots and lots of stucco. I don't like stucco. I hate stucco, actually. And it's a Mediterranean style, as you can see. But I'm going to just tell you not to get this because it's stucco. And it's like the entire house is stucco. So I'm not going to condone it. I've got too many nightmares with stucco. I don't want you to have any nightmares. This one can work. Got a little bit of stucco right there. But the cement board is way better. Lots of windows, 2-car garage. It's a center unit, so I don't like that. Forget it. Okay? I'm here about making decisions, not about like wasting time. Okay, this is off of Yale Street. We have $1,025,000 property. However, it's right next to commercial. This is all commercial, including this here. So because that's next to commercial, we're going to say hell no to that. Okay, we got East 20th here on Arlington. This is a possibility. 1823 Arlington at $2.5 million. $2.5 million. Look at that. It's beautiful. 4,247 square foot house, 6,600 square foot lot, but they're asking about $600 a square foot. 2018 build. Okay, so that is, see, this is in a historic district. Let me see. It is, well, it says deed restrictions. I don't see, let me check and see if it's historic. Because remember, location is key, and that may be in historic. Let's check. Historic districts. So see, that is in a historic district. So just so you know, you're not going to be able to do certain things to this house, like ever. It's going to have to stay the way it is, including paint and things like that. So you got kind of a headache with the historic district to deal with. But if you're okay with that, this could be an opportunity for you. So just a quick peruse through the pictures on the inside. Very artsy home. Ceilings are not very high though. I mean, these are probably, what, 9 feet ceilings? Pretty interior though. But, you know, just not very tall ceilings. And I think people are going to have a problem with that. Especially at $2.5 million. Like, the heights is fabulous, but $2.5 million is what we're talking about. So I'm not going to go after that one. I don't like that it's that the ceilings are low. And there's not at least some place within the house where the ceilings are double high ceilings. $550,000. This is actually not a bad option here. 1,256 square foot house, 4,400 square foot lot, $550. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1907. Amazing. So this could actually be a pretty good option. Oof, nah, maybe not. It's just narrow. You see that? It's narrow. Super narrow. I mean, you can't even really do much with that. Less flexibility in terms of like staging and things like that. That wouldn't work. That sucks because it's hard to find a reasonably priced house in the Central Heights area. Okay, let's zip over to Jefferson Elementary School zone, which is right here. Congratulations, Jefferson Elementary School became an A-rated school this year for the first time ever, I think. Oh, let's get a closer look at this. So this is a patio home community zoned at Jefferson Elementary School. 2-story houses. Question is, can you do short-term rental on this? No carpet, yard, den, gated, new construction, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Excuse me. Let's see, deed restrictions. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they don't allow you to do short-term rental. Pretty sure. New freestanding, because like these ones for some reason they didn't allow it. They made those deed restrictions on this, which is annoying. HOA covers 2 times a week private trash. HOA, yeah, HOA is $1,800 annually. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do short-term rental on this. And you don't want to get a house in the Heights that you can't do short-term rental with in the future, anyways. $515,000 house in Brooksmith. You cannot get this unless it looks amazing. Okay, $500,000 for a bungalow in Brooksmith is not a possibility unless it looks fabulous. Now, kitchen looks good, gas range, breakfast area, dining room's okay. This could be a short-term rental if you wanted to do that. Deck looks nice. Outdoor space looks nice. Lot size is 4,000 though, so I don't like that. This would actually need to be around 400K or 425, something like that, for this house. So cannot do that. So here's something that's in between the historical districts. $1,120,000. 6,250 square foot lot size. It's a French colonial style house. Dated on the interior though, unfortunately, but a big deck. That's nice. Solar panels. I don't know about that. I'm kind of like iffy on those things. It almost looks like a multi-family. I don't know what that is. But 1.12 million, 2,600 square feet. It needs work inside, so I'm not gonna say get that. All right, let's see what else we got here. We have something that's right on Oxford Street, which is a through street. Not terrible. It is outside of the historic district, so that's a plus. $2.6 million for this house on a 13,000 square foot lot, listed by Cassia McCormick at Compass, which is my brokerage. Swimming pool in the back, more solar panels. It's like a ranch 2-story is what it looks like. Interior looks lovely, looks early 1900s or Victorian era. Big kitchen, lots of windows. It's actually a pretty nice house. Let's see what the numbers look like on it. It's probably going to be low volume. 2.6 is rich. I'm just telling you right now, it's rich for the Heights. I bet the volume is going to be pretty freaking low. But let's take a look because I'm not even sure for that price point in the Heights, right? So let's take a look. So looking at lot size, that is 10,000 square feet or more in the Heights. Solds. See, the median sell price is 1.5 with only 2 sales that occurred above 2 million. So getting to 2.6 is really going to be tough to do. And my system estimates 2.392 to be what it should be. They're asking 607 per square foot on this house when market says 599. So it's kind of close, but I would want to be south of 2.392. See, this one sold for 2,605. So they probably comped it out with this, but I would want to be at 2.4 or lower, just to be extra secure and safe. Yeah. Yep. I think 2.4 is good. They're about 200K too much on that. So, okay. What else we got here? We are at an hour, 34 minutes of streaming. Appreciate you hanging in there with me. You know, we're just looking at all the best opportunities. Here's a $1,375,000, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Looks beautiful with the coffered ceilings and the shiplap ceilings. Pool in the back. Ceilings are kind of low though, aren't they? It seems like 8-foot ceilings or something. So 1916. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. 1916, huge lot, 7,500 square foot lot. It is in the historic district, so you can't really do much adjustments to it. It's barely in the historic district, literally on the line. Then you got a 685 here at 1108 Voigt Street. 1108 Voigt. Wait, how much is that? 685. That's not too bad, actually. I mean, it's a townhouse, though. 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. Is there a HOA? No HOA. No restrictions. Okay. Well, I like that aspect. I wish there was 4 bedrooms, not 3. 3, 2.5 at 2,400 square foot. Could be better. They listed this as a single family residential, it looks like, when it's not. It's a patio home. It's not actually a patio home, it's a townhome. Okay. Let me see. What is there a flood zone over there? Let me see what the flood zone looks like. 685. No, it's not in the flood zone, so that's good. Let's see what it looks like for townhouses. Okay, so I'm going to go to the type, and I'm going to put in townhouse. The median sale price for the townhouse market in Houston is, $219,000. But that's including condos. So let's remove the condos. Let's put lot sizes maximum 2,000 square feet. This one is what? It's 2,500. So let's do maximum 3,000 in that case. And let's go heights. Okay, so now we're getting about 438 median sale price with your market value hitting 439. So they're asking 685 for this, which is not populated in here. But 685 is more than the sold price in the last 6 months of 640, the max sale price. So that means this house is overpriced. We're not going to mess with that anymore. Okay, so that's the heights. Remember, we'll work in all the regions that I work, which is pretty much all this. Garden Oaks, Oak Forest, not really anything new. This is the flood zone area, so we're not going to mess with that. Spring Branch could be good. It could be really good stuff here. Let me see here. This is 735. Okay, here we go. A 2.1 million Memorial Villages, Bonnie Oaks, built in 2016. Wow, it looks like a 1990s house. I don't see how that's a 2016, but it's a pretty interior. Very nice interior. Kitchen is kind of close to the living area. Not a fan of that. Big dining room. That's great. So 2.1 million. Looks like I saw an elevator there. Yeah, I mean, it's good condition. Spring Valley Village. 2.1 is a little rich, though. It's near this canal or whatever you want to call it. 3.3, 959. I'm not really seeing any opportunities in Memorial. Not really so much in Spring Branch. No. Yeah, and then I like to work the Memorial West region. 1,021,000. No. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what I work. We have covered in an hour and 39 minutes live streaming pretty much the areas that I work, which means if we met at one of my open houses, which I do 4 a weekend, it would have been somewhere in this region. So, but I have other agents on my team that works other parts of town. So jump on their channel to watch their live streams. But if you like what you see here, make sure you subscribe. And my number's at the bottom. So if you saw something that you like, shoot me a text. There's schedule a showing. When I find good deals, they are really good deals and they go fast. So don't wait. You see something you like here? The numbers look good for it. We got to schedule it. We got to see it. Text me, and we can't waste time. We got to go. My number is at the bottom, 832-622-7723. Text me. That's my cell phone. I am a licensed realtor here in Houston. I can show you any house. All right. Great having you. Have a good night.